Hey people, Infantry here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Esteel Province and Space Marines versus Eldar. Blue Space Marine team is Zeno as a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair alongside. YZ or YZ with a Force Commander, very good offense, fighting in melee, some support and disruption too alongside. And rounding off the blue team for the Space Marines is Broodwich as Apothecary. Support hero fighting in melee by default begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Red Eldar, Sir Gunter the Kaiser is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support alongside. The Tenso's Farseer, support hero fighting in melee, some powerful buffs and control. And rounding off the teams, Ben 1993 with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, with a capping and harassing with some powerful control. Harassing some scouts there, I think it's kicking off in the mid from the look at the mini-map here. Farseer in amongst those tactical marines, gets a good special immediately, knocks them all back. Force Commander, I think, killed a couple of Guardians, maybe just one. I think a couple. Here come Banshees, another special attack. Guide up on the Banshees too, that guy's going to die. A little bit unlucky there to get two specials against them, but the second one I think could have been avoided. They seem to move towards the Farseer there. Maybe they were trying to target those Banshees. Now Broodwich will need to back off. I think maybe YZ expected a little bit more support there from Broodwich in the mid. They were held up by this Warp Spider being annoying. And a full retreat here. They could get onto the power, bash the node, decap some stuff. Decent start for Eldar on the east side. West side, Warlock does get away. Howling Banshees on the Techmarine here. Can they get a special? They can. And, oh, that was a bit odd. It looked like the Techmarine sprung back up out of his knockdown state really quickly. A little bit quicker than usual. Each side we are seeing the power bash and we're seeing some capping and stuff. What do I mean when I say special attack? A lot of people ask, newer viewers maybe that don't necessarily play this game, a special attack is an alternate attack animation that deals AoE damage and also weapon knockback, which will knock back stuff that isn't fat. It procs based on the relative melee skill of the two stuff that's fighting. Generally, ranged units have low melee skill and melee units have high melee skill, but there are some exceptions here and there. Some units do not have special attacks, generally ranged units, but there are some melee units that don't have special attacks too, such as heretics. Each weapon for a hero can have a completely different special attack too, and they vary in terms of, you know, speed of the animation, speed of recovery, speed of wind-up, damage profile, what actual area they affect. It could be a 360 knockback, it could be a cone. Lots of variation there. Force Commander has a Chainsword and Storm Shield, providing some defensive bonuses to himself, and he can also pop the defend and help out his buddies. It's not going to help against those power swords on the Howling Banshees though. But he'll still have the battle cry to try and knock them over. Mastercrafted Bolter is up for the Techmarine. Warlock comes leaping in. There's a shotgun blast. Grenades from the Guardians. Only one actually. Banshee's trying to follow it up, and a Shuriken setting up too. Banshee's here with its aspect of strength. Probably all of them have it. Nope. Aspect of fleetness for the Tenso. Lots of war shouts going on. Just barreled through the Space Marine lines there. Aspect of strength for Ben. Rangers for Gunter and Ben. And they got through again, although here comes Broodwich to the flank, and they do have some purification vials. That'll be a threat to the Banshees if they can time that throw. They don't have shotguns though. Double tax here with that bolter fire, but that's all going to be shut down by the suppression if they can get it. There's a purification vials throw. Well placed. Those guys would have run right into it if that player wasn't live to it. Who was that? That was Sir Gunter the Kaiser. Farseer trying to get in there, draw some fire, create some space for the Banshees. Guide is on them, and here's choppy chop time, and that stuff is all retreating. Retreating units taking 30% more damage from melee attacks. Ouch. And power weapon is doing 30% more damage to heavy infantry. So put those two things together on a quick unit like Howling Banshees, and you get some dead Marines, as we've seen. Special attacks proccing there, and again Banshees are running riot for Ben. Holy crap. Did some really good work, and they killed another Marine. Double tax for all three Space Marine players. And often you see that in a faction war. Warlock has gone down, looks like he's holding his merciless Witchblade. Rangers are long-range sniper units that can support with infiltration for their allies and also some disruptive capabilities. Scouts will dodge the grenade, but they kept them moving. Down goes the Farseer though. I think that was the Techmarine with his mastercrafted bolter whittling her down. Might have been a high-powered shot at the end. Grenade. Gets him. Banshees might be able to get on him too. Oh, shotgun blast might have saved the Techmarine. But do the scouts get away? They do. Barely. Only the sergeant makes it out. 343 to 444. Tactical Marines quietly capping the wreck point on the western edge. Full gen farms. For all... Yep, all 4 of the natural powers are full. Warp Spider's going to get a revive on the Warlock and probably level off that. I think. No, not quite. I'm always caught off guard by how much they've nerfed the XP from reviving. I think it was a good change though. Tactical Marines, they're lucky to get away with 2 models. The Banshees are doing really good early on. Harassing the hell out of the Marines. Still haven't leveled though. Breaking through though is YZ, and the Force Commander gets level 2. Also has Artificer armor here, so he's nice and tanky already. Over 1,000 hit points at level 2. And with the, what is it, 20%? Yeah, 20% received. 20% less range damage received. And he gets a little melee buff as well from this. He does lose the bolt pistol, of course, which is a loss. That's for sure. Grenade takes out another Marine. 343 to 426. Good pressure from the Eldar. But the Space Marines with the double tax all around do have this kind of inherent strength running through their core in Tier 1 here. And their heroes are starting to have more of an impact. Mastercrafted bolter and that chainsword. Shotgun's also doing some good work. And Broodwich on the east side has gotten up to the power, touched it a little bit. Banshees on the prowl though, popping their fleet. There's the vial. And they didn't see it. Ran right into the vial there. Did a good chunk of damage, but they did get in. And they did war shout. Special attack on the Apothecary might go down here, you know. No, does not go down. A few more seconds and they would have taken down the Apothecary, but a few more seconds might have also got them killed. So I think that was a good shout from Ben. Warp Spider teleports up to harass the scouts. They didn't lose any power and they didn't lose the wreck point unless something was rebuilt over here. I don't think it was, but I could be wrong. Tier 2 all around. Looks like Dark Creepers already on the way for Sir Gunter and Ben with Warp Spiders on the way. In fact, Dark Creepers already on the field from the Tenso with Inferno PvP damage, about 15 DPS per model. Extra versus heavy infantry. Not quite as good as Plasma. I think they're less effective against heroes than Plasma is, and maybe less effective versus super heavy infantry too. I can't remember the exact numbers of the damage modifiers, but they're good. They'll do some good work against these Marines. Force Commander's gone full support mode with the Sacred Standard. It's also nice in that it's completely passive, doesn't put any more pressure on his energy, which he needs for Battlecry and for Defend. 343 to 363 on the VP. It's very close. Banshee's going to go for a decap on the VP there. Can they get the west side back? I think they can. Warlock's going for it. Has that merciless Switchblade. Here's the Techmarine though. Might not be able to stop him, but he'll do a bunch of damage. I don't know if he's going to pop the high-powered shot though. I think the Warlock's trying to knock him over. There we go. Just a perk of the merciless Switchblade. Meanwhile, Eldar get onto the power. Shuriken's trying to set up. Not sure what those Tactical Marines are up to. That is a dead end in there, unless you can break stuff. Tax run away. Devastator's on the field in Tier 2 for YZ. A good choice, I think. Surprised we didn't see one in Tier 1. Dreadnought is up for Zeno too. 2 Dark Creepers and those Warp Spiders. That was a strange Tempest barrage there. I think they retreated halfway through it or something. The Farseer barely gets out with 4 hit points. Good grenade though. Cheeky grenade. Annoyed all these fellas. They've got sergeants up on their Tactical Marines, has YZ. Maybe one of them will become Stone Guard veterans. Here's the Dreadnought. Gone for the Assault Cannon immediately. I was thinking maybe they'd have it in melee for a little while to really scare the Banshees, but hey, an Assault Cannon is pretty damn scary too. I was going to say, can he not fire on the move? I'm sorry, I swear he could, and there he goes. Just took a while. Has a long cooldown, I think, the assault cannon. The Space Marines get their natural VP back thanks to these Devastators of YZ. Power is safe all around at the moment. How much did they get? Was it 2 gens or 1? I think they only got 1 gen off that. Warlock's now got his Champion's Robe. It might be worth him just standing around and keeping this Techmarine knocked over. Warlock pops his Champion's Robe. Suppression on those Banshees there. I don't think they can approach this easily. Or maybe they can. Here comes some Dark Reapers. There's that Tempest Barrage. That disruption. And some good DPS, of course. A bunch more Eldar appear. I think maybe out of that web waste. It's a big fight here. Dreadnought quite rightly being kept back. The Force Commander is doing nothing. Was he using Defend there? He must have been. He's got no energy left. Defend also gives you suppression immunity. Force Commander levels, I think, to 3, maybe 4. Banshee's on him. Techmarine runs away. That was from the revive, that level. So it's a good fight for the Eldar. Went toe-to-toe with the Space Marines in Tier 2, early Tier 2 anyway, and came out ahead. Although that was a 3v2 fight, I think. Because here's Broodwich with a Razorback. Eats the Haywire Grenade, shuts down weaponry and slows down the vehicle. Pretty damn powerful, as you'd expect. Now it's working again. Machine Spirit's woken up. Now getting some repairs too from the scouts. And we do have Stone Guard veterans for Broodwich and for Zeno. Replaces the Tactical Marines with a First Company Marine squad that can change their ammo to combat all targets. They will be using their damage over time Hellfire rounds against this regular Eldar infantry and their heroes and stuff. Dark Creepers. I don't know if this is a good fight for you. Why are you shooting at the Razorback, fellas? There you go. Shoot the Marines. There's a Tempest Barrage again. Useful to have that disruption on demand, and they do get the ability to suppress as well with their pinning fire. Devastators versus double Guardians. Maybe they were looking for a grenade but decided against it. Big push here by Broodwich, but here come Howling Banshees. Going straight for the Razorback. Shotgun blast saves it, but it almost went down thanks to the Bright Lance. Bright Lance is a full-on anti-vehicle weapon and looks like it was given cracked shot there by Ben. Boosting its range and I think damage too. 254 to 314. Still got cracked shot. See the effect there. I think it lasts like 20 seconds or something. Is it range? I'm pretty sure it's range. Are they going to go for this VP? Force Commander is kind of low. He seems to be shrugging off that Dark Creeper DPS pretty well. They did get the Razorback in the end. Banshees went on a hell of a chase. Lost their Exarch in the process, but they did get it done. Thanks to another Haywire, I'm sure. Broodwich's Apothecary levels to 3. Now has Armor of the Apothecarian. So popular in these 3v3 faction wars. It's pretty damn amazing that advanced healing can keep an army going in the middle of a fight. Scouts level to 3. What about these double attacks from YZ? They're both level 2. West is blue for the Space Marines. Eldar are on it though. Here's a devastating plasma cannon shot. That's going to be nasty. Not quite as nasty as it could have been if it was slightly more left. Dreadnought's doing well. Techmarine leveled, I think. Yep, to 3. Another plasma cannon shot goes in. Banshees on the prowl looking for the Dreadnought, I think. There's Distortion Field from the Warlock. One of his global abilities giving them range damage reduction, but they got messed up there. Just everything turned on them. And let's not forget, even though it's got an assault cannon, Dreadnought will mess you up in melee. Doesn't have melee resist, but still has like 70 odd heavy melee DPS. It's a good barrage. Don't think it wiped anything, but that was a good barrage. Fire Prisms on the way now. Tenso's got one out already in the mid, kicking off. Chasing the Tenso here. Are they going to turn to engage? They are. Banshee's going for it at least. Force Commander's there though with the battle cry, which basically shuts them down here. In fact, they might wipe. So a lot of stuff in retreat path. I think they are going to wipe. Indeed they do. Just slight misjudgment there from the Tenso, and they do have a Fire Prism in play. That big disruption from long range. Very nice tool to have. That disruption can stop caps and stuff. and just mess up these kind of ranged blobby armies. Apothecary almost goes down. Very nearly level 4. Force Commander is level 4, in fact almost level 5. Done well. That constant damage buff from the Sacred Standard, you can't discount that. It's 25% more damage for all of this infantry. When you've got 6 Marines on the field, well, 4 Marines and 2 Stone Guard veterans, if they all benefit from that, that's a massive boost in damage output. And now we've got Terminators for YZ, and those Storm Bolters. Power Fists as well, of course. Rangers being all sneaky, taking shots on moving, because they'll die pretty fast to that Storm Bolter fire. I think it's like 40 DPS per Storm Bolter, which is pretty nuts. It's like a level 5 Techmarine just on their arm for each of them. He's running away now. 254 to 208. Let's see what these fire prisms can do. Each player has one. What do we have in terms of anti-vehicle? We've got those power fists. The attacks could quite easily get missile launchers. Don't see any yet. The Stone Guard can use their vengeance rounds. The heroes, well, the Force Commander and the Techmarine also has anti-vehicle choices. Force Commander just kind of strolling through this range damage now. Pops to defend. See that inspiration on kill for those Terminators there. There's the Switchblade helping to counter this stuff by draining his energy, but it's forced to retreat. I'm not sure exactly how much energy it drains. Does it tell me? 15 energy. So quite a substantial amount. I hear Banshees yelling. It wasn't you, it was you then. In amongst Broodwich and stuff. Can they run through and get a power bash hit? Maybe. Are we seeing any... and we got a Predator tank on the way. Don't see any missile launchers. I guess they'd get shut down by the disruption of the fire prism, but maybe bring them in at a different angle or something. Space Marines holding the west side pretty well. Looks like they are going to get at least the node down, which is the most expensive thing to replace. It's also the toughest though. Can they get one of the gens? I think they can. Decent effort from Ben. Got the decap on the wreck point too, can back away. Fire Prism showing its rear armor, which is not great, although nothing here has an anti-vehicle weapon. Oh, now they do. Cyclone missile launcher, look at that. That was like 3 of the missiles sitting here. Look at the damage it did. 2-1 for the Space Marines. We're having trouble doubling the west side, I think, because YZ keeps cutting them off in the mid. And also pressuring the mid a bit. So Tenso kind of feels like they need to stay here, I believe. Double Dark Reapers against the defend. Good grenade. Killed at least one of the Dark Reapers there. Banshees running in, then running out again. Right Lance. Maybe it can hit a Terminator now and then. Not going to hit them reliably though. Level 4 Techmarine. Dreadnought is level 2. Stern Guard are waiting. We got some more Terminators here and some more Cyclone missile launcher. I feel like they needed an avatar or something to help them push this west side. Ben does have a lot of resources. They might be saving for one. D-cannons, of course, would help as well for that disruption and the sheer damage output from long range. They can't see this webway here unless they get really close, which they are. They still can't see it. Oh, there we go. They have seen it. Force Commander goes for the decap with Defend up, able to survive and tank a bunch of damage, and the heal thrown out there by Broodwich. That's pretty nuts. Nav's without his shield up. Imagine if he had his shield as well. His Iron Halo, rather. He's got a shield. That's with the Sacred Standard, not the Halo. Gets away too. Got a decap and got away. Clean. Warp Spider's dropping. Fire Prism doing its thing. There's that advanced healing. No need to try and pick out that Apothecary and take him down. Because note that the advanced healing does not heal the Apothecary. Got to try and shoot that guy down. West side, what's going on? Looks like there was some kind of hoo-ha, but it's being taken back by the Techmarine there. Get back to this VP. Eldar are running out of victory points here. Avatar is on the way for Ben, but there's a Land Raider Redeemer for YZ. Broodwich stayed in play for so long. I think he could have stayed in play. If they just backed off using the advanced healing, I think they could have stayed in play there. But that was pretty awesome. Shows you the staying power an Apothecary can have when he's surrounded by Marines. Can't push alone, says Sir Gunter. Fair enough. They're hanging back here. Ben brings us Fire Prism over. The Tenso brings a Fire Prism over. They're both using Ulthway, I think, so... No, they're not. It's got some squiggles over here, and it's like slightly reddish. Can they do this? Avatar is out now. Looks like Broodwich is saying maybe don't get a Land Raider against Eldar because of the Eldritch Storms, but looks like they're still getting it for the moment. There's a time field that could really help in these big team fights. Just shuts down all the attacks of those guys and slows them down, of course. There's crack shots on some Dark Creepers from the Warp Spiders Global Bar. Assault Cannon Barrage's Dreadnought's been pretty awesome, actually. Maybe they haven't done enough to go after this thing. There's been no Fire Dragons, no Wraith Lord. They did have that Bright Lance, but not sure where it is now. Ouch. That guy had a bad day on the VP. Fancies with the War Shout, going after the Force Corner, get him out of there. They're getting some shots on his Dreadnought, but it's been repaired by Scouts and the Techmarine. Those Banshees are going to wipe. Shimmer Orb is thrown in. That should probably get the decap. It negates all range damage going in, which is why these Terminators are going into melee with this guy now. Grenade. Got the decap. I thought maybe he'd stick around and try to get the cap. Oh, they got a Dreadnought. They did get the Dreadnought in the end. Here comes the Land Raider Redeemer. Not sure where the Avatar is. In fact, he's taking a lot of damage. Oh, he's on the VP. Getting messed up by Broodwich's army. Using Angels of Death to stop the Wailing Doom doing a bunch of damage. But here we see the concede from the Eldar. Maybe a D cannon in there. Broodwich was so strong late on, though, putting huge pressure on this side. I don't think they did anything egregiously wrong. Their economy seemed to be a little bit lagging. I feel like they should have had a little bit more on the field when all the Terminators hit, kind of thing. The Fire Prisms were good into the Seer Council here. They just kind of ran out of time. Not enough pressure on the VPs. It's hard to do, though, eh? Maybe they could have put more pressure on the mid with some shenanigans and infiltration and stuff. But there you have it. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part, and of course Impregnable for hosting these faction war events. I'll see you next time.